Hello. I hope you're all doing well, and if not, I at least hope that your night improves. Also, hello, Egg. Hello, Veroth. And hello, Angel. Also, Veroth, I am so sorry. That sounds awful. I hope it feels better soon. That's one thing I can honestly say that I've never had a problem with, but also at the same time it kind of like worries me because I don't know. I wouldn't know. But I've never been stung by like a bee or a hornet or a wasp or any other sort of stinging insect. But it's also kind of like slightly worrying too because I have no idea if I'd be like allergic to them either, so, you know. Fun. Yeah, I haven't switched the screens yet. Also, hello, Bree. I hope you're doing well. But yeah. So, I don't quite know how painful that is. But I've heard it's, you know, not very fun. So, I hope you're doing okay, Verhoth. Also, yes, I did actually add 4 more follower emotes of tarot cards. They're common themes that usually come up in readings. Funnily enough, they also happen to be like within the same range within the deck. So I arranged them in order. Flaming bees. Yeah. Like, at least it wasn't a flaming bee. Yes. So I'm sorry to hear that, Bree. But at least you have some free time. But yeah, I added the death card, number 13. Temperance card, number 14. The tower was the first one I added, that's number 16. The star, which is 17. And the sun, which is 19. Those weren't added just because they were common themes that come up in readings, but also because they're very... The energy of those cards is very much the energy of most of my guides. A good chunk of them come from Mr. Sass himself, but it's a mixture of all of them, so. And they each hold like a little bit of that energy in their own way. It's all good, Egg. I still love that you named your cat that, by the way. Or, is it a cat? Or is it a dog? I'd never asked. Okay, I thought so. I thought I'd like seen that mentioned somewhere, but... Oh, so the queue's not open yet. I'd start off with collectives first. Also, I'm doing alright, Veroth. If I sound a little out of it, it's just because I didn't get much sleep. Didn't sleep very well. I did manage to take a nap earlier, but it was like an hour-ish. I could have done with more. But other than that, I'm mostly okay. I disappeared for a bit last week because kinda ended up having a bit of a moment again and spiraling, and it took me a while to just kind of snap out of it, so... But I'm mostly okay. There's still like some anxieties and stuff that like pop up occasionally, but I can usually pretty easily just kind of brush them away, so. Oh, I love orange cats. Orange cats are the best. Thank you, Veroth. You hear that, anxieties? You're like doubly wrong. Shut up. Yes, orange cats are great. I love orange cats. Especially the specific type of orange cat that's just like the epitome of that like stereotype of like orange cats having like single brain cell. I love those sorts of orange cats. Also love voids that are the like epitome of like the stereotype of voids, which is that they can also have moments of like single brain cell similar to the stereotypical orange cat, but the difference being there's also still a certain level of grace to voids, but primarily they're just the embodiment of chaos. They are the definition of chaotic dumbass, and their mode of operation and reason for doing anything is just because fuck you. Yes. Exactly. Orange cats are himbos. Yes. Nothing but a single brain cell that they only have occasionally, by the way, rattling inside that skull of theirs. The only thing they know is just love and food. That's it. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, orange female cats are rare, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. So, see, it wasn't her fault. It's just that both of her parents were oranges. Exactly. Also, hello, Dixon. Okay. But anyway. I probably won't be streaming, like, too long tonight. By that, I mean, I'm going to try to not go over, like, about 3 hours. Because I have an order of groceries coming at, like, 8, which is in about... well, at this point, in about, like, 2.5 hours. Because I've spent about 20 minutes yapping. Okay. Well, anyway. I suppose we should go ahead and get into collectives. Also, I'm doing alright. I'm a little tired because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. But I'm mostly recovered from the bullshit anxieties that occurred last week. So, how are you? What message do we need to hear today? Operator reversed. Operator reversed. Operator reversed. Thank you. Okay. So we have reversals here. Also, this is very fitting. Also, fuck you. The spirit, fuck you. That's a fucking call out. We have the Page of Cups reversed, the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Coins reversed. They're all reversed. They're all reversed. So, some past issues here. Past. Trauma, whatever. Past trauma, past, like, issues. This could go back as far as childhood. That's what this usually signifies, with the Page of Cups reversed here for me. So, it could go back as far as your childhood, but it could just be like trauma or like issues from your past that you've just been holding on to and carrying for far too long that have perhaps kind of come up to the surface again and just caused some issues. You're probably not in a very good emotional state. It's been causing you to feel a bit ungrounded. Well, probably not a bit. If you're unlucky enough, it may have been a lot of it. The advice here is to slow down and take it slow, okay? Not everything has to be done right this minute, right this moment, immediately, like, addressed, okay? You need to be slowing down, not only so you're not, like, rushing this healing process here, but because you don't want to rush that, but also just so you can take care of yourself here and bring yourself back into balance and reground yourself again, okay? I don't know, this one's like a direct call out for me from Spirit because fucking this is applicable to what happened over like the last week, so okay. Oh yeah, we're using the Litha Oracle, by the way, tonight. The new one that I ordered last week. The Seasons of the Witch Litha Oracle. So. Litha being the date of the summer solstice. So, that'll be coming up here in June. So. Also, I'm just gonna show you them because, like, these cards are gorgeous. Look. Look at them. Look at them. Look at that beautiful purple. And the butterflies. Beautiful. Apparently really thinking about it. Come on now. Whoa. I just saw one of the cards that popped out, and I know that one's gonna be a big call out. Let's see what we have here. Interesting. That's one that I don't think I've gotten before. Oh, this is gonna be a hell of a call out. Uh-oh. I apologize in advance. They have words. Not yet. I'm finishing up the collectives. I yapped for a bit, so I only just started. I usually do 2. So the first one here is Heirloom Tomatoes. The second one is fruit wine. Not naps, yaps. I yapped for a bit. And sunbathing. Oh no. It's all good. Maybe that's a sign you need a nap. Maybe your brain is telling you, hey, that thing you just heard, you should go do it. Okay. I did take a nap earlier, though, because I didn't get very much sleep, but yeah. That was earlier in the afternoon, though. Okay, so heirloom tomatoes. Yeah, I slept about like 3 hours. Maybe? Yeah, no, 3 hours. And then I took like an hour nap, so I'm running on about 4. Yeah, I'm sorry. So heirloom tomatoes. Enter into the depths of intimacy, where the seeds of your desires will be nourished. Keywords here are love, passion, and lust. I know that sounds a little spicy, but there is a different message to this card. Heirloom tomatoes bring the promise of new romance for love seekers and renewed passions in an existing relationship. It goes beyond anything physical, entering into the depths of intimacy that is only accomplished by a deeper understanding of each other. Lust is born out of suggestive glances, feathery touches, and whispered kisses, teasing at something much more sensual. If this is something you're not experiencing, consider seeking fresh ways to introduce more play into a relationship, romantic or otherwise. However, this is where the message applies here. It's just as important to experience love for yourself as it is for a lover. Are you making time for your passions? When was the last time you acted on your lust for anything, not just a person, but also a goal, purchase, food, or location? This card guides you to give in to the need to spoil yourself and those around you. Everyone wants to be wanted, and feel loved, including the universe. The extra affection goes a long way in stocking the seeds of desire, and you will find the energy you give is also the energy you receive. Yeah. Yeah. Right, Dixon? It's just like, I don't know that. I don't know her. I'm sorry. Don't know her. I'm trying, but... Also, yes. So if you've been lacking a bit in the self-love department, or have been, like, thinking about going for things, or, like, especially not spending enough time taking care of yourself, yeah, it's time to do that. However, if you are seeking out some, passion in your life, yes, perhaps this is a sign to go for that. Indeed. And fruit wine. This is a celebratory invitation to the possibilities gifted when you reach beyond yourself. Keywords here are celebration, invitation, and breaking the ice. It's time to get out there and be social, to make new friends, build relationships, and invite people along on your journey. Your chances of success will increase tremendously with the help of others. If you are seeking love, consider asking friends and family to make introductions or set you up on a blind date. If you are starting a business, seeking a partner who shares an interest in your plans may be the missing piece. Perhaps it's too much to go it alone, so having someone to share in the hardships as well as the successes can reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed you felt on your own. This card can also represent the presence of a kindred spirit, someone who understands you as though you were the same. There is the promise of lifelong kinship and a mutually beneficial pairing of support. The sense here is that you have found your folks and are experiencing a sense of coming home. The shadow side of this card is feeling left out or left behind. Sometimes people grow apart or life gets in the way and it isn't easy to spend time together anymore. Which doesn't have to mean the end of a relationship, but may be a sign to welcome new people into your life who can fill some of the void. Open your heart and allow different attachments to form. You never know when you've met the next addition to your soul family. Right? Yeah. So I apologize, but for those of you who did identify with the whole message of self-care here, this next one's gonna be a major call out and I apologize. Sunbathing. The dance of stillness is calling for you to live in its embrace. That is very much going with the Eight of Wands reversed, by the way. Keywords here are spiritual strength and restoration. Also, there's an ad that's about to start soon. Can we speedrun this shit? Hold on. There are many ways to experience rest and self-care, and you are being guided to explore the ways you need to heal at this time. Look beyond the most obvious choices of rest and relaxation, although these are worthy pursuits, because typically this card indicates a need to experience a spiritual restoration, such as spending more time in meditation and prayer. God fucking damn it! Fuck you! Spirit calling me out, no. Communicating with your guides or ancestors, fuck you. Or developing a spiritual self-care practice that might manifest in working with herbs, tarot cards, something related to your culture's mysticism, or the natural cycles of the season. Fucking oof! Why are you doing this to me? Also, I'm working on it, leave me alone! It's important to establish a regular practice of spiritual nourishment rather than anything that is one-off. Having a ritual grounds your energy, allowing you to build your soul's strength, which will make it easier when you inevitably find yourself facing the harsh realities and responsibilities everyone faces throughout a lifetime. Fucking big oof. And there's the ads, thank you! Oh, fuck me. Welcome back. Ugh. Not that fucking, major fucking call out. Oh, God. I know I need to meditate more, but fucking... trying to quiet things. Well, I know that's not the point of meditation, but anxieties get in the way, okay? And getting them to be fucking in the background enough for me to actually focus on meditating is really hard. And also, the fucking part about developing a spiritual self-care practice that might manifest in working with herbs, tarot cards, something related to your culture's mysticism or the natural cycles of the season. Not me growing plants for that exact fucking purpose. I already practice tarot, so, you know. But I need to do it daily for myself again, because I have fallen out of practice with that. Which is why they sass me so much during streams. And then, like, I have been looking into ways to actually honor my heritage. For those who don't know, because obviously you can't see me on camera and it's not something I talk about a whole lot, I am Latina. I am Mexican. But more than that, I have ancestry, with a background in, indigenous cultures that are part of Mexico. So, yeah. That comes from my father's side, so. Yeah. Okay. And then I also pulled out the Amulet deck, but I'm worried it's gonna sass us. But what would you like to add here? Oh, there is some extra fucking sass. Going very, very in line. Going very, very in line with that fruit wine card. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna have anything else. I think that's really all I want to add. Okay, no, what's this? Okay. We have Ask an Ally, which is going very in line with that fruit wine card about accepting the help of others and such, and connecting with others. And Step Back and Reevaluate, which is going in line with that Eight of Wands reversed card, okay? Reevaluate meaning take a moment to pause and examine if you're getting your needs met and if you're taking care of yourself in the way that you should. Okay? Because, again, self-care. So I hope that message helped. Also, what hobby are you looking into, if you don't mind me asking, Dixon? Dude, that sounds so fucking sweet. If I actually had, like, the resources and, like, space to do something like that, I would, like, totally fucking, like, look into that myself, because I've always found that interesting. I never really fucking never really understood why until guides came along and were just like, hi! Because, for those who might not be aware, most, like, just even using, like, Mr. Sass set as an example, I call him Mr. Sass because he is a sassy little shit, but, set, he was also primarily, a warrior, so most of my guides actually are. Actually, to honor that, particularly for the few ancient Egyptian gods that are actually a part of my team, most of the Egyptian gods that are like part of my spirit team are warriors, and I was actually looking into at some point getting a little pendant to kind of honor them, particularly honor the warriors and that side of them. I wanted to get a kopesh. I'll tell you right now, Dixon, Sir Nunos is still around. Okay? If you're wondering who was sassing you last time, that was him. He decided to be a little, funny. But, so, for those of you who don't know what a kopesh is a curved, it's a curved sword, essentially, that kind of almost looks like a, it kind of looks like a sickle crossed with, like, a sword. And it was commonly used among, it has, like, a pretty huge significance to, ancient Egyptian history. I won't get into all of it, but essentially, the subsequent, the invention and subsequent, like, adoption of said weapon, helped turn the tides for, like, a few notable battles in their history. And not only that, but it was a very common thing for pharaohs to have as like a ceremonial object, essentially. And particularly it was given to the pharaoh's guard. And it was one of the weapons that was included in a warrior's things, essentially, throughout a good chunk of ancient Egyptian history. So, I would like to get a pendant of a Kapesh as a way of honoring them. Yeah, I'd like to get a sistrum, but I feel like if I were to get one, I'd actually want to make my own. Thank you. But, I don't. I have no known allergies. Luckily. So. And also, in response to your earlier comments about, like, the, it being, like, silly or something, the connection that you made between, like, what you hope to get out of blacksmithing and what you hope to have it symbolize. Essentially, like, it's not silly at all. Or, in your words, like, weird. I absolutely understand that. That's actually why I looked into, growing my own, like, plants. Like, I've been growing a mint plant, just a mint plant for, like, a while. And it's doing well and absolutely, like, thriving, and I've even, like, harvested from it, like, a couple of times to use for various things. Particularly, I've made, like, some tea with it. Some fresh, like, fresh mint tea, and it's absolutely delicious. But I'm working on also growing, like, a spearmint plant, because spearmint is, like, my preferred type of mint. And I'm hoping the minty flavor in the spearmint plant will be, like, a little bit stronger. Not that, like, the other one is, like, weak or anything. I just want to see the difference. Plus, like, I bought the other one. I didn't grow it from seed. I'm growing all the others from seed. But I'm currently working on growing, at the moment, spearmint and sage. Just regular culinary sage. And I have seeds for mugwort, lemon balm, and a special type of lavender that's more fragrant and is typically used for, like, culinary purposes. I'm really hoping the lavender goes well, because, like, lavender in general has a very low germination rate already, but that can be significantly increased by cold stratifying it, which means shoving it in your fridge or freezer. In some cases, it significantly increases the germination rate. But the type of lavender that I bought has an even lower rate of germination, and I'm hoping that it actually, like, germinates and starts sprouting. So, yeah. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that one story involving mugwort. But yeah, the reason I'm doing that is essentially kind of by helping foster the growth of like plants and connecting to the plants that I grow. I'm hoping to essentially kind of use that as a way of symbolizing my own and help bring healing into my life. It was something that I felt the call to it for a while, and I decided to like finally look into it and realize like it actually wouldn't take too much to get into it. And I'm literally just using recycled like plastic jugs that I've like cut in half and inverted the top half into the bottom half and turned it into like a little planter essentially that I can just grow like herbs and things in my windowsill with. But yeah. Because like I buy like a lot of like I it's something I hate doing because I fucking I don't like buying this much plastic. But like the water here isn't great. It has a lot of like mineral deposits. And if I haven't already like stated it and made that clear, I'm a big tea person and I have an electric kettle to make my tea. And to kind of help reduce mineral buildup in the electric kettle, I buy distilled water. It would be much better if I could like actually go to the store myself and use the jugs to refill them at like refill stations that exist. But I typically get grocery delivery because I don't have the ability to actually like go to the grocery store myself because various reasons. Like I don't have a license. I don't know how to drive. And I don't have a car anyway. And the only person I have who lives around me is my sister, and she's very frequently very busy, and I don't like bothering her all the time to like ask her to go pick up groceries for me or like take me shopping. So I typically get grocery delivery, which means that I can't ever take my jugs that I get back and like refill them rather than, you know, purchasing more like plastic jugs full of water. And it's something I hate doing. So I decided to take some of them and cut them in half and invert the top into the bottom to essentially make a little makeshift recycled planter of sorts. So but yeah, so okay, I would normally do another collective, but I've spent a lot of time yapping. Groceries coming in like 2 hours, so I need to make sure that I'm actually getting some queued readings done. So I'm going to go ahead and open the queue here. Okay, queue is open. You can go ahead and join. Oi! Where the fuck did you appear from? You just like fucking snuck in, excuse me. Hello, Adam. Are you ready? Speaking of tea, I actually need to take a sip. Because I have been yapping too much, so I'm getting very thirsty. But yes. Maybe one day I'll post my collection of teas to the Discord. Perhaps one day. I legitimately have so much tea. I have so much tea. I could probably, like, legitimately, like, start running my own fucking, like, little mini cafe with all the fucking tea and coffee I have, okay? Don't judge me. I have a literal, like, drawer, a literal cart full of, teas. Like, you know those, like, stacks of, like, plastic drawers that you can get from, like, Walmart and shit? The brand, I think, is called, like, Starlight or something. But, like, a bunch of other brands have, like, come up with their own. So, you know, like, the big ones? Like, the wide drawers? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm familiar with that because, you know, like, furniture is expensive. That's essentially kind of, like, what we used as, like, makeshift dressers growing up a lot of times. So, yes. I understand that one. But, like, the wide ones, that is filled to the brim with various teas. Like, the biggest ones they have. The widest ones they have, because I'm pretty sure they have ones that are, like, thicker as well. But, yeah. Pretty much, like, one of the biggest ones they have is, like a stack of three drawers is full to the brim with tea. Okay? Brie. I swear to fuck, sir, if you say anything or even giggle, I will slap you. Don't you pipe up, you little shit. Yeah. Mr. Sass is also quite, he's got quite a sense of humor, and he's also, a very spicy little shit sometimes too, so, just, yeah. He's quite a character, so, yeah. I'm pretty sure someone's crying laughing, but I'm not sure if it's him. just said it is me. What did I just say, you little shit? Good lord. Anyway, like, it's so fucking stuffed full that there's like more on the top. I have like a pile of like containers of tea on the top because I ran out of room. I almost need like another one to sit on top of that to like fully contain all of the tea I have. I have so much tea. I have so much tea. And that's not even including all of like the coffee I have, because I like both. I just drink mostly tea. I also have a lot of coffee. And I like need friends to share it with. Just be like, hey, come over and get some tea, bitch. But anyway. Are you ready, Adam? I've been very yappy today, so. Do you drink a lot of tea, Brie? Yeah. Yeah. Oh goodness. Blah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, hold on. There was an explosion of cards. Hold on. Just let's do this again. What does Adam need here today? Uprighter reversed. Uprighter reversed. Right. Uprighter reversed. Okay. We have the King of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords. And Five of Coins. So essentially, the vibe that I'm getting here is essentially there's a sense that again, you're not really like communicating, you're not really speaking up for yourself here, and essentially sharing yourself and opening yourself to those who want to actually like help you. And this is leading to you feeling alone, or just kind of a bit emotionally distant, essentially. is kind of like a vibe here. And this is something that you've been like feeling stuck in for a bit. Probably because you're telling yourself that you don't really have that support, or you don't really have what it takes to actually like do these things for yourself and change things for yourself, which is just creating, you know, this bit of like repetitive cycle. Though I do get the sense though, like this isn't really necessarily a call out, it's more so just kind of like keep doing what you're doing so you can continue moving past this, okay? Let me see what the Oracle deck wants to add here. Also, yeah, I get that, Bree. That's why I have an electric kettle. Especially because, like, limited space and all. They don't really take up much space. Like, if you have the ability to get one of those for yourself, I would highly recommend it. You can even get, like, a decently priced one from like Walmart or like Amazon if you want to buy from either of those places. I see. I get the sense that this is in regards to yourself, but also applies to others. Given one of the cards that just popped up here. First we have Money Magic. And then we have Summer Solstice. Yeah, I've done that before too. When I had, like, no space. And honestly, like, if I had a way to send it to you and that was, like, something that you'd actually be comfortable with, Bree, I do have, like, an old, I do have an old electric kettle that I replaced it with a new one. Better one. The other one was just kind of meant to be temporary. If I had a way to send it to you, I have an electric kettle that I would happily send you. So, money magic. It is in limiting beliefs that magic goes to die. Keywords here are wealth consciousness and enough to go around. Litha is all about abundance and growth, making it an excellent time to work on wealth consciousness. To have a healthy attitude towards wealth means knowing there's enough to go around for everyone. The universe and everything is unlimited. There's no end to the prosperity you can experience. Every person has the ability to be very affluent in their consciousness if attuned to the vibration of wealth. How do you know if you have a strong wealth mindset? If your response to your potential to be prosperous was "I doubt it," then you are sabotaging your ability to manifest an increase in finances. You can never manifest something if you don't believe you can, and this card has appeared to you because it's time to do the work needed to eliminate self-sabotaging beliefs about finances. There are common beliefs about money being evil, that people who have it are bad people. You don't have the right education or experience to generate wealth, or you aren't the kind of person who could make that kind of money. With just a little bit of research, I guarantee you can find someone who has very similar circumstances to you, yet is living the life of their dreams. This card is nearly always about money, but when it appears in a love reading, it can mean your financial situation plays a significant part in your relationships. It may indicate fights about money, or that you need to be in a stronger financial situation to attract the kind of partner you wish to have. Oof. Oof. Okay, and then we have 35 here. There it is. Summer solstice. Like the sun, spread your ray of light and ignite the light in others. Keywords here are growth, good fortune, and prosperity. The sun is finally shining down on you, and that is reason to celebrate. When this card appears in your reading, you can expect increase, good fortune, and happy opportunities in all areas of your life, from money to love, recognition for your efforts, to news of an addition to your family. You are receiving all the hopes and dreams you have been working towards for a very long time. In fact, you might have such good favor that you cannot realistically keep it all to yourself, and will feel moved to share it with your loved ones and community. This in turn plants seeds for even more abundance. The ability to provide for your family adds to the gratitude in your heart, attracting more joy and light. As your light grows, so too do the opportunities available to you. Your energy and charisma become beacons for others to bask in the glow of your success, and for even more successful people to see and reward your talents. The shadow side to this card is the fear of losing all that you have gained. Enjoy your newfound wealth, knowing that your gratitude and faith in the universe will bring more increase rather than less. Don't ask why me or wait for the other shoe to drop, as this will attract the things you fear most. Instead, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Sing, dance, and shout your thanks to anyone who will listen. So. I get the sense that this is about not being able to help others in the ways that you want to, and that you don't have anything to offer in that regard, but they're telling you you do. Okay? You do. Just don't overextend yourself. Okay? See what this would like to add. It's on its way to you. You got good things, okay? Don't keep doubting them. Don't keep telling yourself you don't deserve it, okay? You keep working towards that shit. Okay? And you keep accepting that and what's given to you. Express your gratitude for it. And just let yourself just accept it, okay? Don't question why. Don't question why you deserve it. So I hope that message helps. Yes. How many points do you even have at this point, by the way? Good lord. Nice. Yeah, I know you have. Okay. What would you like say to it? Okay. No one else knows what they're doing either. It's all going to turn out fine. And you are a fighter ever onwards. Hope that helps. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and issue a last call for Q here, because I don't want to go too long. So. I'll leave it open for a few more minutes here. Okay. What message does Egg need to hear today? Okay, there were some words here. Not necessarily bad, but upright or reversed. Upright or reversed. Reversed. Okay. Upright or reversed. Whoop. Upright. Reversed. Okay. Right. Upright or reversed. First. Okay. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups, Queen of Coins reversed, Temperance, Six of Swords, Ace of Coins reversed, and Four of Wands. So, there's a general sense of grief and ungroundedness here, with a situation. I get the sense that it's probably likely coming from this, like, Ace of Coins reversed. There's, like, a delay somewhere with, or a block somewhere with, like, some opportunity or some option that has presented itself to you. And you're being asked to be patient with this situation, okay? It may not be quite exactly where you want it to be, quite yet, but trust that you will move on to, like, better things here with the Six of Swords, okay? You will move forward towards better things, and it seems like this will go in a positive way to give you a reason for, you know, a celebration here, okay? With that Four of Wands. Okay? So, just be patient. Do your best to ride it out. And trust that things will go. We'll work out for the better here, okay? Let's see what this one's to add. Hey, if that's how you want to apply that, go for it, okay? If writing it out helps you write it out, go for it. They're really thinking. There was one, I think, that popped out. But there might be two. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, we have... which is the key motif for this deck. Here in the unknown, you will find the essence of who you really are and what magic awaits. Keywords here are breakthrough, transcendence, and profound change. The humble caterpillar melting down and rebuilding itself into a stunning butterfly is one of the most beautiful symbols of transformation the world has ever seen. And talk about an extreme makeover. The caterpillar essentially digests itself by releasing special enzymes within the chrysalis that dissolve its tissues into a soup of proteins that are then used to rebuild the body, forming its wings, legs, and the rest of its anatomy. A caterpillar's willingness to completely break itself down is what leads to such profound change. It may be difficult, but it knows it has outgrown its current state and it's time to set itself free. You are in the midst of a profound breakthrough and are about to transcend your understanding of who you were. Sorry, let me reread that. You are in the midst of a profound breakthrough and are about to transcend your understanding of who you were until this point. Okay. Spiritual signs come so rarely in the form of a huge flashing billboard, but in this case you can expect something truly dramatic to shake up your way of being. Whether or not this change is the result of a devastating event or a happy coincidence is unknown at this point. Either way, your life will look completely different a year from now as a result of what happens in the coming months. Yeah. It is. Pay attention to synchronicities and dreams as they are appearing to get your attention. They are your confirmation that what is happening is meant for you and you should continue to follow the threads. Additionally, this card is validation of a desire to make a significant life change, and it means yes when asking yes or no questions. Okay. Let's see what the amulet wants to add. It's too a significant number for you. Oh. Stop ruminating. Stop overthinking it. Okay. Yes. 2 and 5. Okay. That's actually really fucking crazy. Do you want to know what card also flipped over? And it wasn't 5. But do you want to know what card flipped over? 7. What do you get if you subtract 2 from 7? You get 5. And yes, we can go ahead and do another Illuminators amulet. Also, this isn't Egg's first reading. They were here during Mid-Month Madness, I believe. So last Tuesday. Okay. Okay, there was a little bit of like an explosion of cards here. And I saw one of them that was like very sassy. So, there are a few here. I'm just gonna like put them all out because they all do fit. They're speaking into existence. Your magic is potent. A sign of success. The sassy one. Inquire with spirit. Spirit's just like, yeah, we heard ya. Come on. Yeah. Exactly. This was the one that was on top, by the way. They're just like, yeah, we heard you. Do you want more signs? Here they are. And there's also a Therapet's card redeemed for you, so let's see what that one has to say. Spirit has been, like, quite funny lately. They've been real funny lately. Other ads. Okay. Yeah. Just waiting for the ads to finish. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so you got 2 cards from the Therapet's deck as well. So... you need to give yourself time to heal no matter how long that ends up being. So, if there are like some past issues here that are still kind of getting in your way and creating like some fears about like where this leads, that might be what this blockage is here and what needs to be dealt with, okay? So, like, try to work through those, okay? Try to push through those. And the second card here is it's all going to work out fine. So. I hope that message helps. And thank you again, Adam, for the Therapet's card redeem, and thank you, Bree, for the Illuminators amulet redeem. Space dog. Of course. Thank you for stopping by. Spirit has definitely been like showing off. Yeah. Like they've definitely been showing off a lot lately, and it's really funny. It's really funny. Like I still remember the one time that I think it was like during the last stream that someone came in looking for like they had a question about like a love reading, and then it turned out that that was like something that they were searching for and stuff, and they got like every positive like fucking love card possible in like the fucking reading. Spirit was definitely showing off that night. They got the lovers, Ace of Cups, the lovers, and the Four of Wands, which is also sometimes referred to as like the card of marriage. When it pops up in a love reading, it can sometimes signify marriage. Are they aware of like how you feel? And are they into that? And, you know, like going further? I mean, have they reacted negatively to anything? What the heck? Camera, why did you just zoom out? Thank you. I legitimately have no idea what just happened there. It just like decided to zoom out. Thank you, camera. No, it's fine. It just zoomed out. I don't know why. But yeah, then if they're not reacting negatively and like telling you to knock it off, then I would definitely just kind of, you know, I would definitely, you know, like say to see where that leads then. But I understand if there's, you know, like still past pain, and because of that there are like fears popping up. And I know sometimes after that it can kind of be hard to be vulnerable again and accept that sort of love for ourselves and, you know, like try to enter something new when we're still carrying that pain. You worry about making people uncomfortable? Are you worried about making them uncomfortable with your feelings? Also, are you ready, Dixon? Yeah, I get that. Sometimes being direct can be hard, but okay. What message does Dixon need to hear today? You're all good. Yeah, I understand that. Egg. Ooh. You're fucking shitting me. They definitely have some words for you. No. But this is speaking to a different concern that you had. Also, it's okay, Angel. It's okay. You got High Priestess, followed by the Hierophant. They definitely have fucking words for you. Temperance, and Nine of Cups. So, this connection you're looking for, they're kind of just being like, we're still here. because the High Priestess and the Hierophant are two sides of the same coin. The way I like to explain it is that the way that I like to explain it is that the High Priestess is essentially they both deal with like spiritual connection and connection to spirit, okay? The High Priestess is your own internal connection, okay? The High Priestess is you, okay? And the power that comes from yourself. And that, the abilities that come from yourself, and that connection, that comes through, like, intuition and stuff. This is connection to spirituality that's based in the self, okay? The Hierophant, however, is connection to spirit on a higher level. It's a connection to the higher realms, okay? And a connection to divinity, and all that sort of shit, okay? So, they're telling you, right here, with this combination of two cards, because something that's also commonly used here with the Hierophant, it's kind of like that whole, like, the keys to the kingdom, okay? It is like a common phrase here, a phrase that comes to mind. Like, you have this ability through your own self and your own intuition and your own inner guidance and the knowledge that you already possess. Like, you already have everything you need, and this connection to, like, higher realms is still present, okay? Connection to, like, higher guidance is still present. And you still have, again, the keys to the kingdom here. Everything you need to continue fostering this connection again, okay? They never leave you, okay? They never leave you. You might fall out of practice with things, okay? You might fall out of practice with things. Okay? But yeah. They're still present. They're still present. And I get the sense that this is in regard to you know, like, what you're looking into here with, like, this hobby. I definitely also get the sign too that, like, again, follow that inner call with the High Priestess here, okay? Like, if this is something that you feel will help, and you feel will help bring about that, like, change that you're looking for here, and help kind of give you a more productive, healthy way to actually process and deal with things, and help symbolize, you know, like, the growth and, like, rebirth and, like, reignition of that, like, inner flame again here, go for it, okay? Like, if this is something you feel called to do, go for it. Like, there's a sense here of, you know, like, needing to be patient with, like, the situation, and as you wait for, like, things to turn out the way that you want them to. But that kind of goes with learning any new skill, okay? Or, like, just healing in general, okay? It takes time, and there is a certain level of patience that we do need with the situation, and also with ourselves. Exactly. Okay? Like, this is something I kinda, so I have, like, a level of banter with my guides, okay? Like, they know I don't mean anything, like, like, they know I don't mean to be, like, mean or, like, insulting by, like, any of the things I say. Like, they know it's just kind of, like, being playful and, you know, just, like, bantering with them. But there's, like, this one moment, like, that phrase of just being able to shut off your brain by beating metal with a hammer. just brings back this memory of, like, one of the funniest things that I ever fucking did with my guides. So, I've played a lot of Elden Ring. I've played through the entire game twice. And I've played with my my ex-partner, Adam. We're also still very close friends. We're still best friends, even though we're not technically together anymore. That connection will never really fade. Ever. And even if things don't ever, like, get to the point where we reconnect again and such, that doesn't really change anything for me. That doesn't really change anything for me. We'll always still be very close, so the nature of it may change slightly, but really not all that much. But anyway, he and I played a lot of Elden Ring together. We've played through it, like, twice, and we're, like, in the middle of, like, a third playthrough. Which reminds me, Adam, if you're still here, the DLC's coming out in June. We need to get through, like, another playthrough here, okay? We need to get through another playthrough here, so that we can actually, like, play the DLC when it comes out, okay? We need to go play more Elden Ring. But anyway. So, he, Adam, usually plays, like, a strength build, essentially. Or, as he likes to call it, the Unga Bunga build. Because all you do is just run it shit and bonk it. Okay? When you have high enough strength skill in that game, all you do is just run it shit and bonk it. And bonk it until it dies. And try not to get hit in the process. And, like... There was this really funny moment where, I don't know what he did, but he did some, like, stupid shit and just, like, ran into, like, a fucking, like, ran at a group of enemies and just, like, bonked them all and, like, killed them all in, like, about one hit. And I made the offhand comment, forgetting, again, part of, like, most of my guide's identity. Just, my response to that was, goddamn warriors and their unga bunga brains. And out of nowhere, I just hear, like, so many people just cracking up and dying laughing, and I was just like, wait, what'd I say? And then immediately I was just like, oh yeah, a good chunk of my guides actually happen to be warriors. I'm sorry. Yeah. There is a bit of a primal feeling to that, and just beating on things with, you know, hammers. Yeah. So, legitimate, okay? That's legitimate, is the point. For reference, I usually play, I usually play intelligence build, I'm a spellcaster in Elden Ring. I very frequently, well, at this point it's kind of become intelligence slash faith. So I cast spells. I'm either shooting things with a madness beam, or I'm obliterating things with a giant ass laser beam. That's usually reserved for bosses, but I also occasionally use it on the smaller enemies too, just because fuck you. So yes, no, valid. Totally valid, because there's something absolutely primal about like doing shit like that and just kind of, you know, yeah. Yeah. So, valid. Um, but yes, it seems like there will be a lot of fulfillment that comes out of this, okay? Which is what the Nine of Cups is here to suggest. So. The Nine of Cups is also sometimes called the Card of Dreams. So, essentially, what you're hoping for, what you're wishing for here is possible, okay? And it's essentially a very positive sign to go for it, and also that, you know, they are still there, and you can connect with them, so go for it. Yeah, I've said so many offhand things, Bree, that were kind of like unintentional like insults towards some of them. They always crack up because they know they know I'm not like insulting them, or that I don't mean, you know, like anything bad by it. They know it's just because that's kind of how I am with Adam, okay? I'm always like, we're always bantering. I'm always giving him shit. Okay? So, like, they know that it's all in good fun. It's never to be taken seriously. I'm never actually, like, fucking legitimately saying that, you know, like, yeah. Okay. And we have here lemonade and herb crafting. Make the most of your situation by opening your mind to new possibilities. Keywords here are making the best of things and silver linings. We all know the phrase that when life hands you lemons, you should make lemonade. It's a colorful way of telling you to make the best of a bad situation. Sure, lemons may not be very sweet, but that doesn't mean they're worthless. Many of the world's best creations were born out of sorrow, frustration, and broken hearts. The need to make the most out of very little opens your mind, forcing you to consider what else is available to you now. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things don't work out the way you'd hoped, and you're left sifting through the pieces of what could have been. When someone betrays you or leaves you behind, you lose a job, or a plan falls apart. It can be easy to find yourself giving in to feelings of self-pity and grief. Don't allow it to take root. It's time to regroup, opening your mind and heart to what's possible. Channel all of the energy you're putting towards your sorrow and redirect it towards discovering something even greater. Nice. Very, very much like a, yeah. Definitely going in line with everything there. And then we have herb crafting. Allow your roots to dive into the depths. Your spirit calls for grounding. Keywords here are gratefulness, grounding, connecting with the earth. You are receiving this card because you are being called to get grounded. Energy is always moving around you and has an effect, and it can take its toll if you aren't careful. You could find yourself being swept away by the hustle and bustle of other people's emotions. You might recognize the signs of carrying stray energy in the form of intense feelings that do not seem to have an origin. The best way to reduce this influence is to ground your own energy, allowing you to find your roots and replenish your spirit. Spending time alone, especially in nature, is advised. If you're reading this now, it's likely you're an empath or a highly sensitive being who needs solitude to reconnect with your own energy. Being an empath is a wonderful gift, but like all things, must be exercised in moderation because you are not just picking up energy from others, they are also taking energy from you. Too much of this exchange can cause you to feel depleted, depressed, and anxious, blocking you from achieving your own goals and attaining positive well-being. Additionally, pulling this card means you are not ready to receive the answer to your question. Your spirit is too depleted at this time and needs to be repaired before making any additional attempts to move forward. Consider working with herbs to get more balance. Essentially, take time to replenish yourself, whatever that is for you. Again, going in line with what you're looking to do here, okay? This seems like it could be a way for you to reconnect with yourself and ground yourself, and essentially help process those emotions, okay? Or help, essentially, push them to the back so they're not at the forefront all the time, which is helpful. It is helpful at times when we don't know what to do with them. Just kind of taking time to focus on something else kind of allows us to process things in the background. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Oh goodness. There's an ad break. I'll take some tea. Okay. Ooh. That tea is delicious. Okay. And yeah. Like, if people aren't, if there are certain people in your life who aren't really, like, serving, like, who aren't really, like, how do I phrase this? If there are people who would only, like, hinder your growth in your life that you need to cut out, yeah, that's fine. But also, don't be afraid to rely on others for help, okay? Cutting everyone out, even, like, the good people who could actually, like, help you, that's a self-destructive habit. Yeah, exactly. Like, if they're not good for you, and they're just, like, holding you back, cut them out, okay? Just make sure you're not cutting out people who actually would be supportive to you, because that's very much a self-destructive habit. So that's one that I have to tell myself not to do that occasionally, because sometimes sometimes it's just like so hard for me to just kind of accept kindness from others. Like, I've done this with my guides, and this is kind of what happened like last week. Especially because someone sassed me when someone sassed me and kind of scolded me when just at a very bad time, and it just kind of caused like a bit of a downturn emotionally. So, which led to a bit of like a spiral as I just questioned things again. So and like that's also something too that like I learned like very, very early on, is that even spirit isn't perfect at times. They're still human. They still make mistakes occasionally. They still have flaws. For some people, that might make them uncomfortable, especially hearing that about deities, but I found that to be the case, personally. So okay. Yeah. That's something they keep trying to remind me of too, and that's something that I'm doing my best to actually just trust in, because self-doubt lately has just been hellacious. Especially as I share some of my experiences, particularly about spirit, because that's one of the biggest places where I still feel like very uncertain, and like I don't yeah, so there's still like a level of like imposter syndrome with that in particular, because I feel like yeah. Particularly given like some of the experience that I have had, especially like early on in my journey, like last year. So yeah, but they keep assuring me that I'm not doing anything wrong, and that I am actually experiencing things correctly, and that one of the things that he likes to tell me a lot, in particular, this comes directly from Mr. Sass, is that like I do have like things to offer. And that I have a place here. But yeah. Anyway, your two cards here from the amulet are attune to your needs, very much going in line with this one, and reflect further for the outcome, okay? So, yes. This time alone, just working with things seems like it'll do you some good, okay? It seems like it'll do you some good, and just kind of offer you a bit of a distraction and assist in processing things. So, okay. Still applies to this though, so. So, overall, I definitely do get the sense that looking into this is something that you should definitely do for yourself, because it seems like it will kind of help you return to yourself by giving you something productive to focus on. And learning new skills is always productive, okay? That's always a good thing to do. Pursuit of knowledge of any kind is always good. So, there's definitely a sense of encouragement here, yes. So, yeah. Okay, so I hope that message helped. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. That's why they sass me so much about, like, giving that love to myself, because I give so much of it to others. But I don't know how to apply that to myself. I know that feeling, so. Speaking of, like, returning to self. That's kind of what the tower usually symbolizes for me. It's removing the things that don't belong so we can actually start building on a healthier foundation that isn't damaged or cracked. So, the tower isn't always a negative thing. It can often feel like a bit of a negative thing while we're experiencing it, yeah. But ultimately it's about returning us to our core. Returning us to our true selves so that we can grow. And actually experience true healing without the obstacles who would have gotten in our way. Or that would have gotten in our way. So, and after the tower does come the star. So, just remember that. Okay. Healing and hope. That's the point of the destruction. Okay, are you ready, Bree? Okay, sorry, let me just check something really quick. Okay. What message does Bree need to hear today? Oof. I'm sorry, Egg. Let's see here. We have the moon. Hello. We have the moon. 5 of coins, Knight of Swords reversed, and 4 of Cups. Okay. Yes, this is Tarot with Divine. It's one of my favorite decks. It was my first deck, and it's still my main deck that I use. Even though I have a few others. This deck is the workhorse, so... Okay, so... I get the sense that there's been a bit of a sense of, like, struggle and a sense of, like, grief here. And I get a sense that there's also, potentially also a fear of the unknown, a fear of, like, what lies ahead here in some regard. And I get the sense that this isn't kind of in regards to worrying about, like, future, and particularly just future situations, future domestic situations, I think. The message from the 5 of coins here is kind of where that's primarily coming from. I get the sense that this is coming from, you feel like you're not doing enough. I get the sense that you feel like you're not doing enough. Or that, like, there's so much to do that you just can't really get done. Alone. And the 5 of coins here is here to say, don't ignore what's right in front of you, okay? You have people who want to help you, so accept that help. And also, take some time to just kind of take a break here, okay? With the 4 of Cups. Okay? Take some time out to just... yeah. Oh no. Okay. Let's see if the Oracle deck instead. Ooh. If that doesn't. Yeah. Should definitely take some time for yourself. But, if you do want help, I am available for that, okay? And here we have Hydration and Mermaid. I've gotten the Mermaid one a lot recently because, yeah. He likes to keep sassing me about, you know, like, it's okay to, you know, like, want things. Yeah, and I'll be free tomorrow, so feel free to ask for help. Or rather, feel free to accept the help that I've already offered. Okay, hydration. There is more to the story than meets the eye. Be mindful of what hides beneath the surface. Keywords here are basic nourishment, foundational healing, and source of the problem. Foundational healing, huh? Hold on, hold on. Hold on. I want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay. It's the Eight of Wands reverse. That means slow down. Very much going in line with that Four of Cups energy. And that's very much gonna go in line with the second message here. I'll get to that in a moment, Bree. Okay. Ever had dry skin in the summer? Between sun rays, air conditioning, salt water, and chlorine, your skin can take a brutal beating. You can increase your moisturizer, of course, but that is only treating the symptoms and not the problem. While environmental influences increase your chances of having dry skin, proper hydration is half the battle. Getting enough of this foundational healing by just drinking more water will have a significant impact on not only your skin, but your body's overall wellness. Spiritual well-being is similar. You may be attempting to manifest a large goal or heal an old wound, but are focusing on the symptoms when there is a much bigger problem driving the external manifestations you're experiencing. Poor beliefs about self-worth may prevent you from attracting more love and wealth. A deep-rooted fear of new experiences may hinder your plans to travel more or chase after a dream. Or you could find that troubles in a relationship are the result of a long-forgotten childhood wound. Additional information, understanding, or healing is needed before the situation can come to a conclusion. Put on your X-ray glasses and look beyond the surface of your problem or question, because there is more to the story than meets the eye, and you have only just begun to peel back the layers. That also very much goes in line with the moon. Okay. And talking about, like, especially, like, a fear of, like, new experiences and, like, issues with, like, self-worth and stuff. Yeah. Like, that's why it's important to take time to take care of yourself. Okay? And Mermaid. Let the allure of the mythical siren seduce your curiosity. Magic awaits. Keywords here are allure, seduction, and embracing desires. There are many legends about a mythical sea creature known as the mermaid. Among them is the alluring call of her song, said to enchant sailors so she can drag them to the bottom of the ocean, never to be seen again. The assumption is that she drowns them in the sea, but what if something much more magical and fantastical is happening? Maybe she opens up a whole new world that only the few who are brave enough to follow the call are able to experience. The things you are attracted to are not a mistake or flights of fancy. They represent things that are meant for you and hold the keys to more happiness, your purpose, and ways to live your best life. If you were captivated by something, allow yourself to be pulled down into the depths of its seduction. It can be scary to follow a passion not knowing what waits for you on the other side, but the best things in life are often the things that scare you the most, yet make you want to dive in. Okay? So, don't be afraid to go after the things that you want here, okay? That applies to anything, okay? That applies to anything. That applies to the things you do for fun, okay? It's not a waste of time. Taking care of yourself is never a waste of time, okay? Let's see what the amulet wants to add. Okay. Then we have continue manifesting this, which does go in line with this. Like, just because there is, like, a block here, a quote-unquote block here, as the hydration card mentioned, doesn't mean that you can't continue manifesting this and working on this, okay? And also inquire with spirit, okay? Do your own check-in with yourself. And if you wish to pose a question to spirit directly, you know, go for it, okay? If you want to ask them for something, go for it. So I hope that message helped. Also, welcome back, Angel. I did see your message earlier. I mean, would you like an answer? I can pull you another card here. Oh, yeah, okay. We got ads. Oh, you're good, Angel. Don't worry about it. If that was in response to, like, my message, I just said, welcome back. I saw your message earlier, I just didn't respond to it. Initially. But I'll get to you in a second. Okay. But yes, I asked if you would like an answer. I can pull you another card from the Amulet deck here if you want one. I can't guarantee they won't sassy with this deck because it does kind of get sassy. But it is also usually very honest. It's a hard no on this. That was also followed by release this desire, which I take to mean release this belief, okay? So just know and let it go. So I hope that helps. And like, I know what that's like, Brie. I know what that fear is like and what those anxieties are like, telling ourselves that, you know, like, we tell ourselves so many things and worry that, you know, we're like doing so many things wrong. And that's why they sass me so much, because I'm just afraid to just... This comes from just like a lot of childhood trauma that I'm not really going to get into, and just a lot of things, and this was kind of brought back to the surface again with like situation that happened last year around like May and June, and that I was dealing with for a couple months before that even, really. Like, because of like just a lot of like past childhood trauma, like I fear pretty much taking up space and just taking up like any emotional space, particularly that like I always just like minimize things. I always minimize things. Like, there was an entire situation that I dealt with last year that just kind of left me feeling very broken for a bit. And they're always just telling me that like I did nothing wrong, and that, you know, like, we always like to tell ourselves that we could have done something differently, or that we should have known better. And we just end up being too hard on ourselves. But there's nothing wrong. Like, even if we did something, like, even if, like, we should have known better, and we, like, perhaps trusted someone we shouldn't have, or, you know, like, making some mistake, and we just get so hard on ourselves and stuff, like, and we always wonder what would have, like, happened if we'd done things differently, but, like, trauma and grief are hard to deal with. Making mistakes doesn't mean that we're deserving of punishment. Some people will definitely make you feel that way, but that's a them problem, not a you problem. Some people have a very twisted sense of justice in that regard. They think that they deserve the same behavior, the same treatment back because someone harmed them accidentally. It's the worst when it's accidentally. And like, no, that's not justice. Justice would be learning from that mistake, hoping that they learn from that mistake, hoping that they learn how to essentially just go about that in a healthier manner. So that they don't then go and harm others. Wishing the same treatment on, like, others because they hurt you, especially when it's accidentally, that's not justice. That's revenge. And I see this far too often with people who are, like, struggling with, like, deep, like, trauma and, like, mental health issues and stuff, and occasionally they're going to slip up and make mistakes. They're going to do things that might make other people uncomfortable. And, like, yeah. Like, I see it in regards to, like, trauma dumping especially, and how that can sometimes just kind of harm people and make people uncomfortable. And then, again, I understand if, like, you don't have the capacity to, like, deal with things or, like, take on other people's shit. Okay. But it's one thing to just kind of... It's one thing to just kind of, you know, like, set a boundary there and, like, ask people, like, not to do it again and, like, make people aware of that boundary and, like, how it makes them feel. Okay? It's another thing entirely when that person then ends up turning around and attacking the other person because they slipped up and made a mistake. Or essentially telling, like, I see so many people that will just label someone who makes, like, a slip up, or who is just kind of sometimes doesn't have, like, the self-awareness enough to, like, realize that they're actually, like, kind of being a bit much. And then they'll just kind of label that person as, you know, like, a monster, essentially. And it's just like... Are you telling me you've never made that mistake? Are you telling me you've never made that mistake? That you've never, like, overshared a little bit too much or trauma dumped when you shouldn't have? And accidentally harmed someone else? Where's the grace? Where's the compassion? You were once that person. Why are you going to treat them like a fucking monster? Is that what you wanted for yourself? I don't think you're quite as healed as you think you are if you're still fucking behaving like that, okay? And in this case, you're actively being harmful. And that's also equally not as okay. Especially if you actually make that known to this person and just kind of... yeah. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fuck up. And there are going to be times when we all can't, like, handle something that someone else just kind of, like, throws onto us. Okay? And deep down, it just comes down to that fucking human desire for connection with others, okay? Making anyone feel othered is how indoctrination happens. That's what leads to the incel pipeline. Just, yeah. That's a topic I won't get into, though. Oh, you're good. I might just have to step away for like a few minutes here shortly. I don't think I've gotten a notification that my groceries are on the way, but... Okay. Yeah, they're on the way, but I have a bit of time. So, it's okay. Oh, you're all good, Bree. Don't worry about it. It was something that I was already just kind of, yeah. Okay. And just like as a final thought on that topic too, like, that's how religious indoctrination happens. That's how religious indoctrination works, okay? That's also how, like, that pipeline to, like, incel bullshit also works. That's why that behavior is dangerous. What am I doing? I was putting things away. My goodness. And there was a card that popped out though, so I'm just actually going to like share that. I started shuffling because my brain blanked for a minute there. But we have Green Witch. This is just a collective one here, okay? So whoever wants to take this, take it. Ah! Spirit really is showing off. Hold on. No one decision is insignificant. The act of intentionality calls to you. Keywords here are consequences of your actions, mindfulness, and interconnectedness. Well... A green witch is in tune with nature, sensing the connection between herself and all living things. She speaks to plants, animals, the skies, and rivers, hearing their guidance and sorrows, taking just enough for her needs while bringing awareness to the ways humans have negatively impacted the planet. Knowing how she treats the earth is reflected in how she treats herself, and how she treats herself is likewise mirrored in the entire collective consciousness. Green Witch is here to remind you to be mindful of the consequences of your energy. The words you speak, the way you view yourself and others, as well as the actions you take, have an impact on all of humanity. If you're cruel to someone, that person may go on to harm themselves or others. If you hide your light from the world because of low self-worth or shame, then you rob others of the chance to love and appreciate the gifts you were sent here to share. What you say and do matters even if you can't see the immediate cause and effect of your choices, and what you don't say and the ways you don't show up also have consequences. Well, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, do you feel called to work with plants? Also, a witch can wear many hats. So if you feel called to different walks of witchcraft, that's fine. You don't have to stick to just one, okay? Okay, anyway, before groceries get here, let me go ahead and move on to the next person with you. If I have to step away during your reading, I apologize in advance. And also it sounds like we're having a storm, so fun. Okay, are you ready? Okay. You can be. There are lots of low maintenance plants if you're worried that you don't have a green thumb. You can always start with something small. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What do you need to hear about your question? Okay. So, we have Queen of Wands, Temperance, and the Hanged Man. Okay. So, yeah, there's definitely a vibe here of, you know, like, the Queen of Wands is essentially like a very fiery, like compassionate, loving energy. Okay. Like there's a sense of passion here. Okay, so this is definitely going in line with the question here. Okay. And I get the sense that this is something that, again, yeah, it goes very well with your question about like romance and stuff. I know this is something that you're hoping for, or something that you're looking into. Again, you're being asked here to be patient with the situation, okay? You'll know when the time is right to take action, which is what this is saying here, the Hanged Man in reversed, okay? You'll know when the time to take action comes, okay? So, just wait it out, okay? Just wait it out, be patient with the situation, okay? And let's see what the Oracle wants to add. Sounds like it's storming pretty hard out there. I feel so sorry for my grocery delivery driver. I didn't know that it was going to be storming. I hope it doesn't... I hope it lets up before they actually get here. Okay, we have Country Cottage, Rewild, and Daisies. So, Country Cottage here. It's time for the seeker to look within. What haunts you can only be faced by you. Keywords are sustainability, self-sufficiency, and independence. Okay? Welcome to spiritual homesteading, the practice of finding independence, self-determination, and sustainability for your soul's well-being. There's certainly no shortage of spiritual teachers, programs, and tools on offer, including this deck you're holding. But the trouble with relying too much on someone else to guide you is that you lose the ability to stimulate your own healing and rewards. You are expecting someone else to show you the way rather than finding it for yourself. You've pulled this card to encourage you to trust in your own guidance more than you seek advice and help from other people. You know what you need to succeed, you know what's not serving your highest good, you know what you want, and you know what you need. What you're lacking is belief in yourself. Making a mistake or getting things wrong is part of the process, not a reason to quit or doubt yourself. You'll learn more from your failures than you will from your successes, and if nothing else, they'll be your own. Your choices, your mistakes, and your determination to rise when you fall. Stay on the path you're on and have faith in your desires and the ability to bring your rewards to life. Okay. Okay. And then we got... So, essentially kind of a vibe of like believe in yourself, believe in, you know, like the again, trust yourself, okay? Then we have Rewild. Let your soul's garden grow wild, setting yourself free and allowing mysteries to surprise you. Keywords here are liberation, salvation, and being untamed. Each person on this planet has genius hiding within them, waiting to be unleashed, and that includes you. However, to access this inherent talent, you must learn to let yourself be free. Brilliance isn't bound by convention, expectation, perfection, or even rules. Your genius needs space to experience all versions of itself. You are being called to let your soul's garden grow wild. Don't be so quick to tidy up your corners or clear out the unwanted. Weeds are also plants, many of which, such as dandelion, are supportive and nurturing to the body. Your spiritual weeds can offer you nourishment and guidance to help you better understand yourself. Your hardships and shortcomings may unlock a clever idea or inspire you to create a masterpiece. A shifting of your soul's cycles may bring light to ways you could experience more freedom and joy. Talents are often unlocked out of struggle and necessity, and a willingness to let your soul lead you. When this card comes to your reading, it is asking you to follow where you're being called to go. Don't question the journey or the meaning, as this is simply your spirit's way of untaming you and sending you back to the wild, so you can experience yourself in the freest way possible. You may feel called to go on a physical journey to a new land, or it could be purely symbolic, requiring you to let go of who you thought you were or who you think you should be. Consider journaling about how you would express yourself if you had no rules to follow, people to make proud, or expectations to live up to. So, this is essentially just kind of, in a way, saying that just because you might face obstacles along the way doesn't mean that this is something that you should give up on, okay? That's very, very much going in line with that previous card, Country Cottage, okay? Trust where you're being led, trust the guidance that you receive, okay? Trust what you feel called to, okay? And then we have Daisies. There is a whisper of a glimpse of opportunities to fill your life with joy. Keywords here are cheerfulness, pure joy, feeling better, love, and care. Daisies really are one of the happiest flowers. They are small but bright and seem to dance in the wind as though they haven't a care in the world. Often given to people who are sick or down, these little flowers bring a burst of cheer into your darkest days. Receiving them is a reminder that someone loves and cares for you, and took the time to make sure you're doing okay. Someone is thinking of you when they receive this card and would love to hear from you soon. They have wondered whether or not you're okay, or perhaps are hoping you're thinking of them as well. This card can mean a happy reunion is on the way, especially if someone specific popped into your mind. Reach out to see if there is an opportunity to reconnect with someone who could bring a vast amount of joy into your life. If someone reaches out to you, be sure to reciprocate the interest, even if your last encounter ended on a sour note. Daisies are sometimes given as a sign of lasting love and friendship, so give things another chance. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let's see what the amulet is to add. Okay. It's in the bag. So, essentially, there's a large vibe here about believing. Just trust that things will work out for the better here, okay? Trust that things will work out well. Trust that, like essentially trust in where you feel led to and in the guidance that you're receiving, okay? Trust yourself, believe in yourself is a big vibe here. So, I hope that message helps. Also, I believe that is my groceries. Hold on. Yeah, they're on the way. Okay. So, I hope that helps. Thank you. Speaking of trusting and believing in yourself, the High Priestess is the card that's on the bottom. Okay. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this slightly short. I would normally close out with a collective, but I have some things to do. And once I get groceries, I desperately need to go like make some food because I kind of haven't eaten anything today. So I need to take care of myself. So I need food. So I'm gonna cut things a little short here rather than doing a closing message, unfortunately. Thank you all for stopping by. Whether you joined the queue, talked in chat, or just lurked, I appreciate you sharing your time with me. I hope to see you all again soon, but bye for now.